Tell me about your hometown.
I was born and brought up in Dehradun, which is the capital city of Uttarakhand, and it is located in the north region of India. And it is basically famous for its natural greenery,
Mm-hmm.
and you have many good amount of places to visit, and they also have like more of scenic beauties.
All right. Okay. Do you enjoy living there?
During Yes, I really enjoy living there because of the mountains, and since it's a valley and it is good amount of nature, animals, chirping of birds is there early in the morning. Then the winters are quite nice because it's quite sunny and you can enjoy the warm heat and all, which I really like about my town, and I really like these climates. So enjoy living there.
All right. Have you ever lived anywhere else?
Yes, I have. So I have lived in New Delhi, then have lived overseas, and I think I prefer my hometown more. First of all, because I am born and brought up here.
Okay.
Then I have my entire family here. But living here is quite peaceful as compared to other metropolitan cities. I enjoy living more in Dehradun as compared to other countries or cities.
Okay. So now let's talk about learning English. For how long have you been learning English?
More than 16 years that I'm learning English. So I started learning English when I was in kindergarten. Like till present time also I'm learning something new about English, whether it's some about grammar or it's some new words.
Do a lot of children in your country learn English?
Yes, I believe like in my country, second language is English and we prefer talking in English since it's a mode of communication for the profession. Like many professions, there is English is one of the second language or the first language to communicate. So it is like necessary for every school to teach English to every student.
Okay. Have you studied any other languages?
Uh, yes, in my class sixth, seventh, and eighth, so I took French as my third language subject because we had three options like French, German, and Sanskrit.
Mm-hmm.
And I took French as my language for new learning. But I learned like few basic words like how to talk or write, like those Monday to Sunday in French. Then I have learned counting in French. I have learned basic communications like what's your name, where do you live.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start learning English?
I think you have to be very particular about grammar.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to keep yourself in practice if you want to learn English. What I experienced for myself. And in the beginning, it's always a good amount of hesitation that people just think that whether they are being fluent,
Yeah.
whether they are right or wrong,
Mm-hmm.
they have their mind, they have been we feel conscious about whether they are saying things right or wrong.
Oh, yes. So you can say
So,
initially they face a lot of hesitation, but they can start
mm,
learning in a bilingual way, means from their mother tongue, like with the help of translation, simple sentences. Regularity is the key to success. They should be regular in their efforts and should not give up, even if they make mistakes. So they should just keep practicing. That is going to help them improve faster. Now there is this cue card. Cue card is describe someone who had a big influence, good or bad, on you when you were growing up. On you, you should say who the person was, what kind of person they were, what your relationship with them was like, and explain the way in which they influenced you. Somebody who influenced you. Try to speak on somebody except your mother and father because that would be very easy. So somebody you met, maybe a teacher who was your role model or a friend that you met or some senior, you have to justify the reason because that is what everybody would obviously have a good influence from father or mother. So except father or mother,
mm,
you can try elder brother or any cousin or anybody else, uncle.
okay,
Variety would be there. So just think about it. You can think for
okay.
1 minute. Then if you want, you can just write down a few points. Write a few points how you will start opening sentence, and then once you are ready, then you can start. Yes.
In my opinion, influence is not something about admiring. it's about a confidence. It's a mental confidence which is being built or created by in the natural factors. It could be a person, it could be any like activity or something. So I think in my personal experience, I had a influence of my cousin brother. So he was the first person who went to overseas for his higher studies.
Who went
So he went to
overseas?
US.
He went
Yeah. So he
overseas.
yes. So he went overseas for his masters in US, and he prepared for his GMAT examination. So I was doing my class 10th when I saw him doing everything. So he used to come for his from his classes for GPAT, and then he used to have his schedule of breakfast and doing his like small basic work of the house, and then used to start his studies. I was the one who got very much inspired about those things. I don't know why, but I was very attracted to his schedule, to his lifestyle, then to his study area. Then I also wanted like okay, I also wanted to go overseas and study. I also want to work. I also want to see the things of different areas. So because I don't know whether it was a small influence or it was just like a desire which I wanted to accomplish. But yes, it was a mind which I got into that. Yes, I want to do this just because, or maybe it was a small inspiration which I got it from him. So this was the one, and the basic, I would say, a small practice which I learned from him, that he was so much dedicated to it that whatever it was, whether his family was doing something or his friends are there, he if he had a schedule to follow something, he no matter what, he has to get up at 1 a.m. in the morning or whatever his schedule he has set for, or he has a small aim or a goal to do for a small day.
Mhm.
He has the habit to accomplish it in that specific time or hour. That if he plans, like, I want to have my breakfast at 11 a.m. on the morning, so he will prefer doing that.
Okay.
So that was my basic thing which I got into my mind that yes, I want to do this. And as soon as I finished my graduation and I told my father, okay, I am planning to study overseas and I have my grades, I've applied for universities, I'm getting a scholarship and all everything. So that was the reason which gave me the idea, okay, I want to go overseas and study and work and all. So this was my specific reason or influence or an inspiration, I would say, that I got influence from him and I went overseas for my studies.
Okay. All right. I got influenced by him. You can say I get
Okay.
influence that motivated me to pursue higher studies abroad. So this was fine. Just I felt that it was a little lengthy. You spoke for more than 3 minutes. So just say, I mean, the main points. Then you can elaborate according to the time that is left with you.
Okay.
All right. So do you think children are too spoiled these days?
I guess it would be not the right word to say spoiled, but I would say it is better to keep an eye on them. So you should have a schedule for everything. If they're playing, if they're watching TV, or they are using any of those electronic gadgets or something, there's a schedule for everything. I won't say they are spoiled, but I would say they could be misdirected by their parents, or their parents are so busy that they're not having a exact idea what is happening with their kid at present time or specific time.
Okay, so you can say they are more independent these days. Sometimes they can
Okay.
and that can lead them astray. Okay. Parents pay enough attention to their children.
I think it depends on the schedule for every parent. But yes, for example, if both the parents are working, they try their best. So they have like they have option of daycare or boardings or hostel.
Okay.
But if a single one parent is working and the other person is like do his home, so he or she tries to be with the kid and keep an eye and watch the kid.
So do you think children are brought up in the same way everywhere, or does it depend on which country or the of the world they are living?
It depends on country. It depends on the environment also. It depends on the like what kind of teacher are you. Like for example, some teachers prefer that they want like all those books or narrative or those theoretical knowledge. Some teachers prefer making a learning simple and easy. They try to be more fun, energetic,
Mm-hmm.
and they try to be like creative with their teaching habits to make students like the students feel interested in when the teachings are creative. They try to learn more. They are involved more
Yes.
in those
Mhm.
environments.
Are children in some countries more respectful than in others?
It could be like Western cultures have a different ambience as compared to the, like for example in India and Australia also, I would say Australian kids, I like when I have was giving trainings to some students, people have like they you since we don't have a habit of saying that scolding in such a harsh manner, or there's no attitude of strictness which can be said. You have to be soft and polite towards the students.
Okay.
So anger management is the word which you can say that you have to keep yourself in a such a zone.
It depends on the way they are brought up by the parents and by the teachers. Because in some countries, especially in the West, the US and all, so I think kids are not so respectful towards their parents and towards their teachers. They think that they have grown up, so there are rights for the kids, for the teenagers. If the parents scolds them or just abuse them or hit them, they can complain to the police, and they think that okay, they are very free, and they will not handle any sort of criticism or any sort of partiality by anybody. Some people say that parents are paying too much attention and that's how they are pampering their kids too much, which was not the case earlier. Earlier, the kids were more obedient and they used to listen and they used to just follow whatever. But now they are getting independence and
Parents are not, I mean, I'm not saying they're not having attention. They are concerned about their careers, their day-to-day activities, because I've seen my nephew. So he used to go for abacus class when
okay,
he was in class 1.
okay.
So we used to ask him like, okay, Neil, tell what is the
For-
multiple of 1738, and he used to tell, and I was like, oh my god.
Actually,
i
parents are
mean
giving
I
too
mean
much
that is the
attention. Parents consider it a prestige issue these days that the kid has to get selected in some specific school. That is the main thing. Right from when he's 2 years old, they start preparing him for that. And then marks, obviously, they compare the marks that why you have not scored the good marks, the topper, like, then they compare, they want, and there is too much pressure on the children these days. Earlier, parents had their own things to do, and kids also. Life was more relaxed. Now there is cutthroat competition everywhere, so children are overburdened unnecessarily. Anyway, so next one. Why do some parents find it difficult to spend time with their children?
because they're too busy. They're extremely busy with their work life. If they're not busy, they're so into their like they're socializing. They don't even know how their family is going. They're so much involved in other things.
Hmm. Okay, that's fine. Okay, who is responsible for the behavior of children at school? Parents or teachers?
I think it's a coordination. So you have to keep a distance with the student and a faculty.
Yes,
So there's no physical touch which is being allowed.
yeah.
Then second, you cannot put harsh words to a student. Like if you are scolding a student, there's hardly a possibility that the principal and the parents are
Okay,
after your life.
okay, okay.
So you cannot be that like what you get harsh, or you cannot be that strict towards kids.
Yes,
So you have to put your mind and your brain in such a manner that
that you are.
it should come creative, that he or she should not feel bad and your job is also done.
Yes,
So
yes,
for example, the concept says if you want them to do something, first you have to do it.
yes,
Follow the rules thing. Like if you're trying to keep you want the room clean, you start cleaning the room. And that is a fact which I also understand. They start coming and help, okay, do you want my help? Can you help me with this? I'll help you with this. How are you? So this is something which I got to know that
hmm,
practice or actions make them work, or action makes them feel okay, yes, they are we want this things to be done.
so we should participate. So you can say that
Yeah, but
everybody should work in collaboration if you want anything to be done. Just create a healthy environment where there is no fear or there is no partiality. Just understand and reply based on whatever you understand. Part 3 will be based on part 2. So whatever is the question of part 2, suppose today it was a big influence, so follow up will be related to influence, habits of kids, school, and what will happen in the future. So just speak something related to it and give examples whenever possible. So that will just and keep practice.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right then. Take care. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye. Take care. Thank you.